Hey everyone, I wanted to do a video just because I haven't done one in a while and I'm trying to be more consistent with uploading and everything. There's been a lot that's been going on, especially the past few months. Not going to get super into it, even health stuff. Although this video, I guess, is sort of health related. I've wanted to do, and I've tried to do this video a few different times, but I want to come across, I don't know, I guess the right way or not too abrasive or whatever. I've tried to do this video on a few different times, a few different ways. This is sort of inspired by not only what I've gone through, but what others have gone through, and also it was interesting. So I've been a podcast guest on a few different podcasts, and there was one in particular that there was two that didn't air for some reason. One was a crypto one, which I guess they didn't decide to publish it, and there was one that's like an independent one, which I don't know. I tried following up with him on via Reddit, and I don't know. I haven't heard back, so I don't know if he published it or not. I don't think so. It just like he went like AWOL and hasn't replied or anything. So I'm not really sure what happened, but not to give too much away, but he said that when he has a fairly popular podcast, and that he wanted me to have me on it for talk about like kind of chronic fatigue syndrome and other stuff and health stuff, in my experience. And he said that he actually has some health problems himself, but he doesn't want to come forward with it because he knows that people will kind of react poorly or not really react the same way. So yeah, I mean, I think in at least like, I don't know, it's just really, it's not something until you've kind of been through it and kind of experienced yourself like dealing with disability, whether it's be on a mild level or a moderate level or even a severe level. It's just really, I don't know how else to explain it, how kind of society, family, friends treat you. A lot of times I just feel kind of out of place and kind of like at times like maybe a pariah of sorts. I don't know how else to quite put it. But I mean, it hasn't always been positive. It's been, I often feel like kind of like a, I don't know, like a second class person or citizen, or like how they have like caste systems, like the low rung or something. It's just really odd that how people like how, and I've even worked for a company that was disability friendly and aware and like I guess sort of woke and progressive. It was in Portland, by the way. Is that how people with disabilities are kind of treated across the board, and even getting on disability is so much more difficult than I ever thought possible. Like I've been trying for 5+ years. I'm gonna probably try again. And I don't think I may go into it at some point, but the process of it is just kind of a nightmare. It really is. And then I had a hearing, and I think it was in part maybe the judge, but also my representation. I think he, the representative or a lawyer, I think they take on a lot of these because if they win, then they get some money. If they don't, then it's kind of a loss. And I think he was doing them really, really like back to back. And I had maybe a few phone conversations and like face to face, and then we had to come up with a strategy like right before the hearing. And to be honest, didn't really sleep well, and I was also recovering from some kind of sickness. So to be honest, I wasn't really. I mean, to be honest, I'm still dealing with brain fog, so it's not like I'm the most eloquent or well put together as his. But yeah, it's just kind of a nightmare. It's just I don't know. I don't even know what the title of this video. This is kind of just a rant because I don't know. It's like sometimes it feels like kind of like a competition between people with different disabilities. For the most part, people are nurturing and supportive and stuff. But often I hear like, oh, I have this issue, or oh, I have this issue, and stuff like that. And I get, people get tired, people get sick and stuff like that, but I've been dealing with this stuff since I was about 21 or so. And recently I learned that, like, I'm actually pretty deficient or low in iron. I may do some video and education on that because I've been learning a lot about that, and I think that's a main contributor and root cause. And I think there's an underlying cause with either gut issues or gut infection and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I know in the United States, I want to say probably other Western countries, I've seen this kind of treatment in kind of like Canada and Australia and United Kingdom or England or whatever you want to call it. Even on this YouTube channel, it's weird. I had someone like, I've had people like kind of leave like rude and aggressive comments, which is weird, even on a vegan one. And I wasn't really like kind of trashing it. I was just kind of poking holes in kind of the theories and science and stuff like that, because I have nothing against vegan. I don't quite agree with it. I think if it helps you and if you're healthy and stuff, go for it. I don't necessarily agree with it. But yeah. What else? So yeah, I mean, it's just, it's been difficult finding work, trying to keep work. You never know if you want to be super open about it, if you want to be somewhat reserved, if you complete reserved. I find it interesting, that a lot of places will ask you voluntarily if you want to label yourself with this disability. And I've heard people say that sometimes they won't put it down because they'll have a better chance of getting a job. The past few places I've put yes. I don't know if it really affected it. I would say in most of my jobs, I've faced some level of, I guess, ableism or whatever, and kind of, I guess, discrimination. Some places really bad, really hostile work environments. But yeah, it's just like kind of weird how people of all different kind of disabilities and stuff, like whether it be mental, physical, both, whether it be like the handicapped, even sometimes the things people say, I think they mean to come across kind of supporting and maybe endearing and whatever. But I've had, even friends like say like, ask like what, or family, like why I'm getting these tests done or why I'm doing this or why I'm doing that. Like I've had one person say, well, actually someone that I didn't really care much for, ask or say like, well, at least it's not cancer. And people say like, well, you seem to be looking fine. I don't know if like they expect people that are handicapped to be like, paraplegic and like, I don't know, missing an eye or amputation, or like, having like part of their leg. It just, I try not to think about it too much because it kind of blows my mind. Just some of the stuff that people have said and done. I don't know. I think like ableism, even kind of medical discrimination, is still pretty rampant. Like I've gone to a doctor's point and they're like, oh, well, I noticed you're overweight. Maybe you just need to lose weight and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, But when a lot of this started, I was really actually healthy and I continue to be healthy. I had one doctor say or ask, because I mentioned I do high intensity weight training, and she's like, oh, you just need to pick it back up. And I'm like, I'm still doing it. I'm still working out that way. I don't know. I get it, like that people, I think unless you experience something kind of firsthand, it's kind of hard to relate to it. And I think people, maybe it's just kind of my view of perception, have a odd view of like kind of compassion or empathy and stuff when it comes to certain things. Like when someone like kind of vents about something and they're like, oh, well, I have that or whatever. Sometimes I get it. Sometimes it's helpful. Sometimes it just comes across kind of, I don't know, I guess some people, how they say about it or talk about it is a bit passive aggressive, or it's a bit, I don't know, just not helpful. So yeah, I mean, I guess I guess an advocate of sorts. I don't like. I feel like personally, I haven't met anyone personally that's done as much or tried as much for my health, mental health. That's probably what most of my time is spent either working on, either making money some way, or my health. I would say 80 to 90% of it. Maybe I have a little bit of downtime here and there where I watch some TV or play some video games or something like that. But speaking of which, so there was this person that was it was really odd and aggressive. And when I did some digging, I found out he did have like chronic fatigue syndrome or something like that. But he commented on a video on something about, I think it was like work or finding work or like work from home opportunities and stuff like that. And I don't know if it was something I said, which I think I said something along the lines of there isn't like a standard treatment or cure for it, because it's kind of an ambiguous term like that, and fibromyalgia and what could be causing it, how to treat it and stuff like that. And he just like kind of went off, and I went back and forth like several comments, and to the point where he like at one point he was just like, well, maybe if you stop playing video games so much. And I'm like, what? And so I think I just blocked him and reported him and stuff like that, because it's most of the time I don't know if it's the best strategy is I sometimes snap at them and then just report them, but usually I just block it and move on. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That seems to be the case for a lot of people that have gone through kind of health journey, health problems, especially early on. And for some reason, people take advantage. They see, you know, there was a mentor, someone that I follow still fairly closely, Joshua Mason, detox dudes, and taking about, this kind of new age woo woo out there. But when you are going through, especially health stuff, you're kind of like in this low state, low vibration and stuff like that. And, you can have people like take advantage of that, feed off that, if you want to talk about like parasitic, energetic entities or like demons and stuff like that, that's even a possibility. And I do feel that's the way. You know, I really wish there was, I don't know if necessarily like a standard with like basic income for everyone is better, or if disability just needs to be revamped, because I've heard like even the servers and stuff like for a lot of these systems like government, like social security and other stuff, they're on like servers and computers that are like decades old, and like the infrastructure, the digital infrastructure is really old. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to keep trying. I'm working part-time. I'm still struggling kind of in a lot of ways, improving in some ways, working on the iron and stuff like that, and wanting to be more active and do stuff that's more purposeful and stuff like that, like YouTube and my podcast and some other things. E-commerce, I don't mind it. I don't particularly like it. It makes some money and stuff, and I'm still kind of working on that. But also other things as well too. Investments. There's a new one that I've sort of gotten into as well too. But anyways, I hope everyone is well. This video will probably be uploaded sometime in October. Comment below if you've kind of experienced some of this, what you think, what kind of disabilities and stuff you have. Even people in healthcare, although I'm not a fan of mainstream healthcare, to be honest. But yeah.